If you know anything about me, you'll know that I hate actually guys. Actually guys are everywhere on the internet, but perhaps nowhere are they more annoying than in the source community. The second you present yourself as a source guy who knows stuff, your comment section will be filled with guys correcting you on even the smallest, most teeny tiny detail. So with that being said, I am very sad to announce that today, I have to be that guy. Most people are familiar with a pretty basic history of Gmod. There once was a guy named Garry Newman. He created a physics sandbox mod for Half-Life 2, Valve liked it and put it on Steam, and now he posts about pooping a lot on his Twitter. But oftentimes when reciting the real-life lore of Gmod's early development, people will bring up an obscure piece of information in an effort to make themselves seem more knowledgeable and cool. A Garry's Mod game that predates Garry's Mod called JBMod. Most die-hard Garry's Mod fans are super familiar with JBMod. It was a mod that served as the original inspiration for Gmod, is more or less lost to time, and was created with the intention of putting ragdolls in sexual positions. It's so funny. Except it wasn't. The majority of videos on YouTube about JBMod are wrong. 9 out of 10 posts on Reddit about JBMod are wrong. But I know what you're thinking, how could I be wrong? How could I be wrong? This is well-documented stuff. I watched generic guy number 45's video about JBMod, where he showed me JBMod's official website, clear as day. See, look, jbmod.com, see? See? Okay, man, okay. Let's talk a little bit about jbmod.com. Opening up jbmod.com, a few things immediately jump out at you. Crude art that I can't show on YouTube, tons of jokes, gags, and blurbs about how awesome JBMod is, and perhaps most interestingly, disses on Gmod. There's also a few references on the site to how JBMod was created with the intention of putting ragdolls in sexual positions, seemingly giving merit to the army of people online who constantly share that same fact. JBMod is terrible. Just because it's first doesn't mean it's superior. All it was ever used for was making sex poses with ragdolls. It couldn't actually do much more than that. The page is presented in a blog-like format, with the newest entry being a post from 2012 about the developers of JBMod complaining that Steam wouldn't let them put their game on the platform. So for most people, this is the end of the investigation. This is the official JBMod website made by the original developers, clearly outlining their original intentions. As far as the greater internet is concerned, this is the homepage of the game that spawned Garry's Mod. The only problem with that is that, it's not. See, the JB in JBMod isn't there just for fun. It comes from the name of the guy who created the first ever version of JBMod, JB55. Which, by the way, stands for Jackbox, so JBMod is technically called Jackbox Mod, just so you know. JB55 was a developer who posted constantly on the now defunct Half-Life2World.com forums. He had a fascination with the beta physics gun of Half-Life 2, and created what was the earliest Half-Life 2 mod ever. And now that you know who JB is, there's something else you should know about him. The website we just talked about, jbmod.com, he doesn't have a single thing to do with it. Somewhere very early along the development of the original JBMod, JB completely stopped caring about pushing updates for the game, despite it being the second most popular section of the Half-Life2World.com forum. Without anyone to take the helm of development from JB, a user named SnakeZ, took it upon himself to become the new lead developer of JBMod thanks to leaked source code. Snakes officially launched jbmod.com, a really basic website to advertise JBMod with a download link to the latest version of JBMod that JB worked on, version 0.5, along with an image of a woman pooping on her own face in a bathtub. I don't know how else to say it. It's a picture of a lady pooping on her own face in a bathtub. By 2005, JB was seemingly off the face of the earth, and Garry's Mod had pretty much completely replaced JBMod. Every official JBMod related forum was down, nobody was working on it anymore, and frankly, nobody really cared. For a pretty long while, JBMod was dead. Everyone had moved on, accepted that Garry's Mod was the new source engine sandbox, and that everyone involved had closed their doors. The quote-unquote official JBMod website that SnakeZ made was laying dormant, and now very cleverly calling the mod GayBMod. That was until about 2009. Due to Gmod's popularity, JBMod had started to catch some attention on the web for being what birthed Garry's Mod. Even today, Garry still cites it as Gmod's greatest and only influence. It was at this point that Snakes, the guy who had basically inherited JBMod from JB, decided it was time for a little bit of trolling. Snakes created branding for the website, including a little character to represent the mod, information about why the mod was created, memes, jokes, and comics about how much better it was than Gmod, etc. Every section of the page was filled with pretty much lies, things that were just straight up untrue, and facts about a game that for the most part didn't even exist. Why? Because it was funny. As far as I can tell, the JBMod website was made with the sole intention of trolling people. JBMod never really was in a heated conflict with Gmod, Snakes hadn't actually been working on new updates for JBMod, and JB, the original creator, still had nothing to do with the website. It seemed like the site was created to get a few cheap laughs, be clicked off of, and never thought of again. But that wasn't what happened. Seemingly for no reason, people believed what Snakes had written on JBMod.com. They believed everything. They believed that JBMod was in an actual one-sided war with Gmod, they believed that JB was responsible for JBMod.com, and perhaps most egregious of all, they believed this little blurb on the website that read as follows. JBMod was originally made because the nerds on HL2 World wanted to get back to making sexual poses with the ragdolls in Half-Life 2. This small gag, this clear and obvious joke at the expense of the original JBMod somehow became the basis for what most people know about JBMod. At one point, the Garry's Mod Wiki and Valve Developer Community Wiki both falsely claimed that JBMod was created with this intent and purpose. It wasn't. For nearly 15 years, the internet had fallen for JBMod.com. For nearly 15 years, the internet had fallen for the same troll over and over and over again. So let's recap, alright? If there's anything you should take from this video, it's to please stop bringing up the factoid that Garry's Mod spawns from a game created to make ragdolls have sex, because that's just not true. JB has stated publicly at this point countless times that he has had nothing to do with JBMod beyond the original version on HL2World.com. He has nothing to do with JBMod.com, he has nothing to do with any of the artwork, and he has nothing to do with a gay B mod. He does think it's all pretty funny though, which is probably as much as a cosign as it can get, so there's that. As of today, Snake's Steam profile still claims he is a developer on JBMod. For the record, Snakes never made an update to JBMod, and as far as I know, there was only ever one version of JBMod that came from JB himself. Also, it's worth mentioning that JB abandoned development of JBMod because World of Warcraft just came out, just so you know. Now, you aren't dumb for thinking JBMod.com was official. You aren't dumb for thinking that Snakes was a legitimate JBMod dev, and you're not dumb for thinking that the devs of JBMod were constantly hating on Gmod at every turn. You're also not alone in thinking that, because perhaps the most prolific person who fell for the JBMod troll was Garry Newman himself. According to this blog post by Garry from 2021, he only continued to work on Gmod because of Snake's tongue-in-cheek, troll bait post about Gmod made on the Half-Life 2 World forums. So, if it hadn't been for Snakes pretending to be an actual developer for JBMod and talking shit about Garry's Mod would have never even happened. It's weird just how many variables there were in the creation of Gmod. If even one of them had changed even a little bit, I doubt I would be making this video, and you almost certainly wouldn't be here watching. It's just interesting how far and for how long a lie can survive. Even as recent as a month ago, videos were cropping up on YouTube spreading false information about JBMod. Hopefully this one sets the record straight, and the next time someone tells you that JBMod was created to make ragdolls have sex with each other, you can just scream in their face really loud. I hope you enjoyed this strange dive into Garry's Mod's ancient history. Now you can go out in the world and you can be the actually guy. You know, that can be you. Thanks for watching, and I am JB from JBMod. It was me the whole time. Bye.
Weinberg is retarded.